Hello everybody, Ian Lee here. Hope y'all are doing well. In this video, I wanted to talk about mixing a Ted Greene idea with the way Barry Harris perceives things through his scale of chords. This idea from Ted Greene comes out of the Modern Chord Progressions book, Jazz and Classical Voicings for Guitar. Great book, just bought it a couple weeks ago, something like that, and it's really loving it and loving all the things Ted has to say and still is, even in his death. And of course, we know we just lost Barry Harris. I only discovered Barry, maybe a year or so ago through the great channel of Chris Parks and of course Thomas Eccles' Labyrinth of Limitations. But you know, what they've shared in Barry's teachings and my attending the Zoom workshops and the Barry Harris workshop videos and just all the things is, you know, it's, even though I never met Barry personally, he definitely changed my life for the better in terms of music and looking at music and playing jazz and swing. And so what a profound human being. And I hope we can all be that on some level to the people in our lives. Maybe we won't touch such a large audience, but I think we all have the opportunity to be that kind of voice for somebody. So let's go ahead and dive into this little idea. So Ted, in his book, there's a progression. It's on page 15. He lists out a bunch of 1, 3 minor 7, 4, 5, 1, and that's the progression. And we're gonna be in the key of C today. And the basic progression, what he does is he plays this C where it's a triad here, and then puts a C note there, and then he goes down to this E minor 7, okay? And then he plays this little F9, and then he plays this G sus. Okay, and that's the progression. Now, there's a couple things. I actually want to look at this as a 1, 2, 5, 1 progression, and I'm going to change it up just a little bit and add some ideas in terms of creating movement. Not that that's not beautiful movement as it is, but just, you know, flip it a little bit and kind of marry Ted and Barry's thinking. So I'm going to think of a bar of 1 here. Now, if we go to E minor 7, well, E minor 7 is also really, it's G6. This is just the third inversion of G6. And we know that if we put G6, that's the 6th, major 6th and the 5th for E6, right? Which gives us a C major 9. So we can think of this as just one bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. So that's like saying, you could think of it as 1, 3, no problem there, but also you could see it as 1 major 6, 2, and that's that 6 on the 5 sound. We're playing the third inversion. So the third of C is in the bass, okay? Now, so then the next part of that is, we've got this lovely little F9 chord. Well, we know that F6 is also D minor 7. D minor 7 is F6 if we're thinking through Barry's terminology, his prescriptions of chords and movement. So really, to me, that is just D minor 7, just an inversion of it. Now, if we look at this voicing here, it's an octave voicing. So any of you are familiar with Thomas Eccles' channel, the way he moves through the elevator and all that, brilliant stuff, go check it out. But we have an octave voicing, so which means that we have this F triad, and that is going to be a first inversion F triad, so the third is in the bass. We're harmonizing the root of the chord. And then we have that right there. We have that octave boundary of the chord. So then what's happening with this 9 here? Well, this 9, this G note, is from the diminished chord that exists in that F6 scale, okay? So what that means is that you can think of this F9 as really like a borrowing, like you're borrowing, you're not making the octave chord boundary anymore, you're borrowing that top voice from the next, that would be an octave chord, diminished chord. This would also be one. Let's see. So you're borrowing that voice. And And so I thought, okay, here would be a cool place to put kind of a Barry idea in terms of movement. So we've got we're thinking of this through Barry's lens, okay? And then we're going to hear, well, let's put a little passing movement in here before we get to that G. So, well, the next thing we could do another octave chord, since we're there. Let's just stick there. We could do, and then we could do this octave diminished right here, right? It's this triad, or shell chord, however you want to look at it. Shell chord, I guess, would be the better term. And then we've got this E in the bass to create that octave boundary. But again, let's go ahead and borrow. So we'll go, we're borrowing the F in there on that. So we're going, isn't that cool? So then if it all sounds like this. I'm just going to a G7 right there. And what I did was I went 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, actually, let's do the 2, 5 in just one bar. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Just like that. And that's just a way to kind of spice up that movement a little bit. And I loved it. I thought it was really pretty, kind of messing with that and combining these teachers. I'm really enjoying Ted's stuff, but I love the way Barry thinks about things. And, you know, if you look, there's so many similar parallel lines, you know, connecting points between any great musician and teacher. You know, some people find just different ways to say the same thing. And that's great, you know, because we all learn differently. We all have our own, we all think about the instrument in our own way. So having different teachers is great. It's a great thing in our lives. So just wanted to share that, and hopefully it inspires you to, wherever you're at in your journey, to just kind of keep being creative and exploring these things and creating these different movements and sounds. So I'll play that one last time, and I put a little melody in it. So. So the melody is, sorry. And so now it's got a pretty melody too. And we've got this little bass line. Dum, dum, ba, da, da. I'm sorry. Dum, dum, ba, da, 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 dum. Anyways, I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk soon.